Hey, first grade, it's Miss Neal. I am here for your week 6 lesson. This week, we are going to talk all about place value. We have talked a lot about place value during first grade, but we have not talked about it in a long time. So we are going to review what we have learned about place value this year, because in second grade, you have to know a lot about place value. So let's look at our lesson objectives. It says, I can identify groups of tens and ones, and I can use place value to identify a number. So knowing that our number is 64, because we see 6 groups of 10 and 4 ones. Our new vocabulary for our lesson, place value. The value represented by a digit in a number based on its position in the number. So knowing that the value of the number is determined where we put the digit in the number. If we put the digit in the ones place, it'll have a different value than if we put it in the tens place. Tens place is the number in the second position from the right. And the ones place is the number in the first position from the right. So we see numbers all the time. All day long, we see numbers. You can see them on watches, street signs, while you're cooking, when you're driving around, and even during sports games. And we need to know how to read numbers using place value, because where that digit is determines its value and what number we have. We know that when we look at a number, we start in the ones place, the tens place, and then the hundreds place. So your ones place is going to be the first position on the right side. And we know that with the ones place, we can add all the way up from 0 to 9. But when we get to that 10th one, the ones place cannot hold 10 ones. So when we get there, we move all of those ones and then we put them in a 10 stick and put them in the tens place. Just like our ones place, our tens place can hold 9 groups of 10. And that tens place is the second position from the right. So we have the ones place, the tens place, but just like the ones place, when we get to that 10th group of 10, we replace out those tens and make it the hundreds place. So that's 100. And today we're going to talk about focusing on those tens and those ones. So Miss Neal has a ton of butterflies. I have so many butterflies, but it would take us so long to count all of these butterflies. We are big second graders now, so we don't have time to count all of these. So a fast way to do this is to group my butterflies into groups of 10 and its leftovers. So Miss Neal's put all of her butterflies into groups of 10. Now I can count by tens, and I can see that I have 10, 20, 30 butterflies. So let's fill in my sentence stem. It says, I circled blank groups of 10. 1, 2, 3. I circled 3 groups of 10, and I have 0 ones left. So there are no extra butterflies that aren't in my circles. So how many butterflies do I have in all? That's right, I have 30 butterflies in all. And I can double check 10, 20, 30 butterflies. Now I have basketballs. I can see I have less basketballs than I did butterflies, but I still don't want to count all of these by ones. So I'm going to group them in a set of 10, and my leftovers. Let's see if you can fill in my sentence stem. I circled blank groups of 10. I have blank ones left over. I have blank basketballs in all. That's right. I have one group of 10 and 8 ones left. That means I have 18 basketballs in all. So one set of 10 and 8 ones is the number 18. What if I already know how many groups of 10 I have? I have crayons, but I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10 and 1 left over. How many crayons do I have? 4 groups of 10 and 1 left over. That's right, I have 41 crayons, and I can double check by counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 41. A lot of the times, I see numbers written in standard form or with our digits. I see a 6 and a 9. But I don't see any objects. I don't see any groups of 10. So how do I know what number this is? Remember, this is my ones place and this is my tens place. So if I look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 10. And you guessed it, 9 ones. So 6 groups of 10 and 9 leftover ones is the number 69. Okay, let's review. What if I had 5 groups of 10 and 5 ones? What number would I have? Let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 5. It's 55. Very good. Now look at my number 55. It has the same digit in both positions. I have a 5 in the ones place and a 5 in the tens place. But I know that their values are different because of where they are in the number. The 5 in the ones place, its value is only 5. The 5 in the tens place, its value is 50. So my number is 55. Let's look at a number written in standard form. I see 1, 1. What number is that? That's right, it's number 11. Now, let's see how many groups of 10 and how many leftover ones are in our number 11. Remember, this is the ones place and this is the tens place. The digit in that place will tell you how many groups of 10 and how many leftover ones. That's right, we have 1 group of 10 and 1 left over to make our number 11. Okay, this time I have 7 groups of 10 and 2 ones. How many sticks do I have in all? 7 groups of 10 and 2 ones. That's right, it's 72. The 7 is in the tens place, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And the 2 is in the ones place, So my number is 72. Okay, Miss Neal, save the tricky one for last. What if I have just one digit? How many groups of 10 and how many ones do I have? I know this number is 8. Don't let me trick you up. You have 0 groups of 10 and 8 ones because there's no digits in the tens place and there are 8 ones in the ones place. So 0 tens and 8 ones make the number 8. Okay, let's go back to our lesson objective. Are you able to identify groups of tens and ones? And are you able to use place value to identify a number? Now I want you to go on Seesaw and complete Math Lesson 1, Place Value Groups of 10. Show your teacher how you can group objects into a group of 10 and some leftovers and tell them what number you have based on place value. See you next time, first grade.